Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Old Happy back with another one. Thanks for tuning in. And today we're going to be looking at some of the different changes that are planned on the test server. We're going to see who the winners are and who the losers are when it comes to these weapons and how they are going to be changed in the live server very, very soon. Also, cool stuff on the test server. We got this new robot out there. This is called the Jaeger, and the Jaeger is supposed to be a sniper with a built-in weapon. And we're also going to be trying out these three new weapons here, the Gauss, the Volt, and the Weber. Now, these new weapons are sniper weapons, which is kind of crazy, really, when you think about it, because right now the game is so heavily geared towards brawling that it's actually kind of strange that we're bringing in all these sniper weapons out of the blue, really. I mean, they're just kind of coming in out of nowhere. And the idea is, I suppose, that in combination with these nerfs that Pixonic's bringing in for all of the short-range weapons, that this is somehow going to balance the game out so it's not just a game of constant brawling. If you've been paying any attention whatsoever on the test servers or in the live server, all of these buffs that are planned are going to really, really affect your hangar. Let's get started right away. There's this new set of weapons out there, these non-stop shooting weapons. This is the Atomizer, the medium version, and I'm just doing a test right here to see is it actually working better? Now, the buff to this weapon is that it is more accurate. Now, this weapon, you have to know that the longer you use it, the wilder it gets. It doesn't need to reload, but if you use it and you just mash that button down, eventually the spray just starts to spray all over the place. But I do find, I have this in my regular hangar, and I do find that on the test server, it made a huge difference. A huge difference. This the weapon did not overheat as fast. It stayed on target longer, and it caused way more damage faster. So for me, it's a total thumbs up. Obviously speaking selfishly because I have this in my hangar, but it really, really works well. I'm quite impressed with the changes, and I think a little bit later on we're going to look at some of the Nucleons as well. Now, another change we need to know about, the Redeemers. The Redeemers have been sort of the heavy version of this sort of family of weapons that shoots these, the Terran family of weapons, which is the medium. And what they've really done here is they've actually changed the firing rate so it matches the Terran. And why is that important? Well, the Redeemer, up until now, has had this really weird pause in between shooting, which really made it hard to aim, and you could kind of be caught in between bursts and be taken down. So I actually like the change, even though I'm not 100% sure if it's a buff or a nerf. I do like the shooting change. Now, you got to know as well, the Ojun, the Flying Dragon, has been nerfed. I know a lot of you are frustrated about this one. Basically, it has reduced built-in ability damage now, and the amount of time that it can fly has been nerfed as well. And so, you're going to have to, if you're going to keep it in your hangar, you're going to have to really, really work to adapt to these new changes. You can't stay in the air long enough, and you're not going to do as much damage when you're up in the air. So, something you got to get used to. Now, let's talk a little bit about this new Jaeger robot. It basically looks a bit like, I don't know, it looks like kind of the Raging's evil cousin or something like that here. And basically it carries two heavy weapons, and it has a built-in weapon. And it's built to use these new sniper weapons. And I'm using the heavy versions of them right here. And I got to admit, I am not liking these new weapons. I just think that they take too long to reload, they don't do enough damage, and the game is really a game of brawling. So, you can't really do anything with these new weapons equipped except stand at the back of the map, and that really isn't a lot of fun, is it? So anyway, but let's come back at it with the Jaeger here again. Some more things you need to know about the Jaeger is that its built-in ability basically has an Aegis shield when you bring your ability into force. But the nice thing is that you can actually move. You can actually move when you're using your ability. So unlike the Raging, which actually has to stand still, you can move while using this. And so let's try it with some Nucleons here. Now, the Nucleons got a buff just like the Atomizers did, in the sense that they actually stay more accurate for longer periods of time. And I'm actually finding, you can see actually taking a step back, you can see my Aegis shield is actually coming into effect here while I'm using my ability, but I'm able to move and get to safety. So I like that aspect of the new robot. And the Nucleons are better. You know, again, I got them in my hangar. Compared to the versions that I use, these are actually much better. And so I really, really am looking forward to this change in the live server. I think it's going to be great. Now let's come on in here. I got my Blitz, and let's try the small, light versions of these new weapons. Again, remember, these are sniper weapons. They're meant to stand back at the back of the map and shoot people and take people down. Now again, this is the test server. Things are going to change. But again, I'm telling you, these are not great. So far, they don't have much of a power. They don't have much punch. You know, you really can't do a lot of damage. I'm trying to shoot guys up in the sky. I'm trying to shoot guys at distance. I'm barely scratching their paint jobs. It's really not worth your time or effort so far. So, you know, I don't mind the look of them. But I actually left my test server feedback was that they're just too weak. And, you know, they need to reload faster because really the game is not a game of brawling. Now, maybe things will change with the new weapons being nerfed, but really this is not a game of brawling, not a game of sniping. It's a game of brawling. And, you know, I'm kind of curious. I'm a little surprised that the company is looking to go in a direction to actually force people to stop brawling and tell them to kind of sit back and snipe. Now, let's come back in here with the medium versions. Medium's called the Weber. And again, you know, I'm not going to show a lot of footage here and not a lot of gameplay footage, but you can see it's on my Leech here. And, you know, it's kind of, to me, it's kind of like lobbing spitballs here, right? Like it's not really doing a lot. It reminds me a bit of the Trebuchet, doesn't it? You know, you kind of let it charge up. You can shoot at any time. It does more damage if you let it recharge in full. But for the amount of time, effort, and etc. that you're going to be putting into upgrading these things, is it really worth it? I don't know. Yeah. Not super jazzed about it. You know, I've been sitting here shooting this guy what seems to be forever, and nothing's really happening here. Let's see here. I'm going to try to tippity-toe. Maybe I can wander down. Oh, let's see if I can get that guy. I took a little bit of his health there, but just that darn reload. Look at me. I'm just, I don't know. I'm just standing there. I'm not the type of guy that, you know, I'm not the type of guy that likes to just stand around, to be honest with you. This is not sort of how I like to play, and so I'm really, you know, I'm just really hoping that there's maybe a change on the next test server. Maybe something happens here. And again, look what happens as soon as I start getting attacked. So as soon as I get within brawling range of somebody here, suddenly bingo bango, all my weapons are blown off. It's not good. Now here's another weapon that's actually currently out there and available, and it's been totally changed in terms of the mechanic of its firing. The Wasp is one of these weapons that has sort of damage over time, the initial damage, and then basically it has acid damage, and it just basically eats away at you and does extra damage. And so one of the problems with this this weapon was that it just didn't, it fired too slow. And it took forever to fire your bullets, or whatever you want to call them, and it didn't do a lot of damage. And so Pixonic has tried to split the difference, and so they've given a lot more ammo, and so you almost, I think you've almost doubled the amount of ammo that you have to shoot. But the problem is, before it was 6 seconds, I think it was around 6 seconds for a reload, 5 or 6 seconds. Now it's 12 seconds, man. Like, I don't even know what to say. Like, 12 seconds is way too long in today's meta. 12 seconds is about all the time you need in a Strider to cross from one end of the battlefield to the other, right? Like, literally, someone could run from one end to the other and be in your face immediately before you even get a chance to shoot these things. And so I'm just finding that it's just not what I want out of the Wasp whatsoever. So my feedback for that was that it should be still 6 seconds. Give it double the ammo. Give it the firing rate. That's awesome that it fires faster. But don't make someone sit around for 12 seconds. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the test server. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you thought of the different changes and how it's going to affect your hangar. You know, I think there's going to be some big changes to come. And, you know, it's a test server, so not everything's going to go into the real game. But, you know, who knows? Anyway, that's Pappy's thoughts. Until next time, hit that subscribe, that share, and I'll see you on the battlefield.